What does the future hold for the Ricky Thornton Jr. Chris Madden driver crew chief pairing? We've got the details on that today. Plus, Trey Starks will be at Trophy Cup driving for a big team, and it might not be a good sign for that team's current driver. All that and more today. Let's go. It's Wednesday, October 16th. I'm Justin Fiedler. This is DIRTRACKR Daily presented by Kubota Genuine Parts. So on the show yesterday, I mentioned that we still don't have clarity about Chris Madden's future, but apparently we do, at least a little anyway. If you aren't aware, Madden has spent the last few months as crew chief for Ricky Thornton Jr. after a diverticulitis diagnosis dramatically slowed down his driving career. Madden went from being a full-timer with the World of Outlaws late models to then a part-time driver to now a crew chief. His only driving appearances since the middle of July was a fill-in situation with G.R. Smith at the World 100. When Thornton was hired by Bobby Kohler in the aftermath of the SSI stuff, Kenny Payton was initially leading that 20RT team before Madden was brought in. There have been questions about how long this partnership could last, and earlier this season, both were pretty non-committal when asked about what might transpire for 2025. Headed to the Dirt Track World Championship at Eldora this weekend, Madden has the chance to be a key piece of RTJ securing his first career Lucas title as the team enters the event with a 50-point lead on Jonathan Davenport and Devin Moran. This event derailed Thornton's championship hopes a year ago, and while he does have Eldora prelim night wins, it hasn't been a track he's been lights out at. And that included back in September when the 20RT was 10th and 14th during World 100 prelims and 20th in the Big Show. And while I doubt Chris Madden was completely checked out that week from crew chiefing, it is important to point out that he was also driving that weekend, so it's likely RTJ will benefit from a more locked-in Madden come, Friday and Saturday. After Eldora, the remainder of RTJ's late model schedule, at least on his website, shows World Finals and then the Flow Series finale at Sonoya. But when 2025 rolls around, it won't be Madden as crew chief. After last week's Friday night win at Brownstown, a commenter on Facebook asked the team if Madden was going to return next year, to which the RTJ page replied, quote, "No, he's going to pursue some business ventures. It was always just a partnership for 2024, unquote. So there's your answer. Hat tip to Skylar on spotting this one and pointing it out to me. The question then is who will be the next crew chief? And the answer might already be on the team with Ricky Arnold. Ricky was brought in with Madden, and he was previously Madden's team boss. He was joined also by DJ Williams on that crew, who came over from the SSI group. I'm sure there will be comments about how an RTJ Anthony Burroughs reunion would make sense here, and I could certainly see that. But word on the street is Burroughs is likely headed elsewhere for 2025. Back to the end of this season, though, it might be kind of fun to see RTJ and Madden get this title, and for Madden to then call it a career, at least as a crew chief. What a record that would be. Come in for a few months, score some wins, a title, and then be done. Would be a pretty sweet walk-off, I think. On a quick sidebar here, this entire scenario I just laid out for you, where something that feels like a significant piece of news is broken via a reply to a Facebook comment buried underneath a win post thanking your crew and sponsors, is the entire reason I started doing this show. And this is not to throw shade at Thornton or Kohler or their squad, because this happens fairly regularly from across the sport from lots of other drivers and teams. One of the most dominant late model racers the last few seasons, needing a crew chief for the following year should be a much bigger story today. But this information is nowhere beyond a Facebook post and now the show. That feels kind of crazy to me. I've said this before, but if you see something that looks significant, feel free to tag me on social media or shoot me a DM or an email. I try my best to be in as many places as possible, but I can't see everything. I'm always open to tips, though. News tips, not money tips. Although I guess maybe money tips, too. Another piece of news that flew under the radar yesterday was a sprint car driver swap coming up for Trophy Cup. The event for 360 Sprint Car starts Thursday at the Tulare Thunderbowl, and as I pointed out the other day, we are going to see some different looking driver and team combos for this event. One of those I wasn't expecting is for the Rudeen 26 car. On the heels of two high-limit appearances this past weekend at Texas driving for Scotty Thiel, Trey Starks will climb into the Rudeen 26 for this week. He's replacing Zeb Wise, who has been the Rudeen pilot since the middle of 2022. Wise had a very strong second part of 2023 and went on to win the final championship in the history of the All-Star Circuit of Champions. The Rudeen team then moved up to full-time high-limit competition for 2024, where I think a lot of folks, and myself included, thought they'd be in the mix regularly. But something was definitely missing, and it was an absolute battle all year. Zeb ended up 11th in the standings with just 2 top 5s and 17 top 10s in 51 races. A season ago, he had 11 410 wins total, but this year just a single one, a prelim victory at Super Dirt Cup at Skagit. What the situation means with Starks in the 26 for Trophy Cup, I think, is yet to be determined. In a release from Sean Miller, Starks made mention of this being a, quote, one-off event, and it's my understanding that Zeb hasn't been fired at this moment. Starks hasn't raced at Trophy Cup since 2017, and after spending a few seasons traveling quite a bit in a sprint car, he stayed much closer to home since 2021, racing mostly at Skagit on the weekends. No starts with the Outlaws in 2024, but he did win 2 high-limit races, going back-to-back at Grace Harbor and Skagit in August. If I'm seeing this correctly, the 2 starts last Friday and Saturday were the first of the season for Starks outside of Washington and Oregon. Add the Rudeen 26 to your Sprint Car Silly Season chalkboard as a car to watch here. On Wednesdays on the show, we try and share the love and hopefully help you guys discover something new in the dirt racing content space. So here are this week's podcast episodes. Winged Nation has Shane Golobic. Obviously, they're going to be talking Trophy Cup. Dirt Track Confessions has Barbara Pouch. Hoagie's Garage has Lee Goose Jr. and Zach Hampton. Turn 2 Terribles has Jordan Givler. That might be an interesting conversation. Getting Up to Speed has Dylan Thornton, and there are new episodes of The Dirt Reporters and The Dirt Nerds. If you want to see all of these shows, links to the episodes, everything, you can find that at dirttracker.com/podcasts. As we get later in the year, our midweek options for dirt racing really kind of start to dwindle, but you do have a few chances today to see some racing. That includes weekly micro action from Millbridge here in North Carolina, and practice gets underway from Tri-State Speedway, not the one that you're thinking of, the one in Oklahoma, for the Spooker. Both are streaming this evening. You can find details on the Dirt Tracker streaming schedule that includes start times and where to watch. Things will ramp up tomorrow, though, as we head towards the weekend. That's the daily for today. If you want to know how I knew what Zeb Wise's high limit stats were, or how Ricky Thornton Jr. has performed at Eldora Speedway and Crown Jewel events, you can check out DIRTRACKR.com's analytics section. 2,154 races as of today, that worth of results, stats, and analysis, all of that over there. Over there, we track 12 series and special events, including the Top National Series, the Chili Bowl, and a whole lot more. A lot of information there available to check out for free, and you don't need to sign up. If you want to sign up, pay a little bit of money, get more, you can do that, but you certainly don't have to. I hope you guys have a great Wednesday out there. We'll see you right back here tomorrow.